Oh, you're
They're a sponsor of the podcast,
Hey,
but I
you
am
would
genuinely
just
obsessed with them.
like, well, I probably just fucked up the beginning of that. That would have been a great little thing to show our sponsors. And it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Did you see the sensitive singing the Hawaii Five-0 thing because the guy was wearing a Hawaii Five-0 shirt.
That guy right there. Oh, I thought you were left. No, you can leave, man. He has the greatest stories in
Right
the
there, you're
world.
mean. You're mean. He didn't make any eye contact with you. You just rolled your eyes saying that he could leave. Wow. Toxic boss will be back after these messages.
I wanted to do a podcast called Let Me Tell You Your Story, because I can tell a story really well, and some people have great stories but they don't know how to tell them, and he is someone who has the best stories in the world, but he doesn't know how to tell a story. He gives you the ending away too soon, and he gives you details you don't need. And I remember one time he has a story about shooting video for National Geographic. They were shooting video in a desert of like the 10 deadliest snakes. And so they were putting them out, right? And then they'd film them, and then they'd grab them, put them back in the thing. And so they take a spitting cobra out, and they put it out. They're like 20 miles out in the desert. They put it on the sand, and the second it hits the sand, it takes off and scoots up into the body of the Jeep, their Jeep. It runs up into the body of the Jeep. And they're like, fuck, what do we do? And then like, someone look under and then see if you can see it. And they're like, no, I'm not going to look under. It'll spit in my eyes and I'm going to die. And they're like, shit, what do we do? So they just sit there for like 6 hours waiting for it to come out, and it never comes out. And then now it's getting dark, and they're in the desert, and they have like a 20-mile drive in the desert to get back to
throwing shit at the truck.
they tried everything. They set up a time lapse. They'd like to see if they could see it come out. They started rattling the truck. Nothing, Bill. Nothing, right? So now they got to drive with 9 of the most deadly snakes in a bag, one of them in the rigging of the Jeep, and they have to drive in the desert where they're like this. He said it was the most terrifying drive of his life because every time something would hit his leg, he'd be like, motherfucker. And then they get back to camp, and 20 miles, they're still in the desert. They've got to spend the night in tents with the Jeep that has a spitting cobra loose in it. He said it was the most never saw the spitting cobra again. But when he told it,
fell out. It definitely fell out. Probably slithered out the other side.
Yeah.
I bet that thing was gone within the first 6 minutes, and they sat there for 6 hours.
Oh, what a terrifying ride that must have been.
Wait, where were they?
See, these are all the things. When he tells the story, he fucks it up so bad and gives you so much information you don't need. He's like, and so then I was with the Canon 800. You know how the Canon 800's got a longer lens. You're like, get to the fucking spitting cobra. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then it just scooted up into the Jeep, and then we just sat there. And you're like,
so there is a spitting cobra loose in America somewhere?
And no, this was in Africa. He was in Africa.
Oh, all right. Well, it's supposed to be there. Well, I probably knew where it was going.
To be there.
No, wait, isn't it? It's not. Wait,
I have no idea.
In India?
Yeah.
Googling it. Hang on.
He is the person. His stories are so fascinating, but it just fucks them up when he tells them. He worked on not deadliest catch. What's Whale Wars? And they got rammed by the Nishimaru, right? They got
Africa,
rammed.
Australia, Southern Asia. Jeez, and they're relatives. Their cousin, the coral snake.
Oh, the coral snake.
Found in the United States, yeah. Sorry.
No. He he's a really interesting guy, and he was on my cameraman on Trip Flip. And I got a kick out of him because he's just funny as shit. And then he was my cameraman on Burr the Conqueror. And then when I started doing these tours, I was like, man, why don't you come with me and we'll shoot some stuff? And so he's a great drone operator. Did you see, I posted a video on Instagram yesterday of us on this Devil's Bridge in Sedona, Arizona. Fucking scary as shit. It is a bridge span of rock, right? That goes down maybe 180 feet. And it is literally this wide, Bill. And we walked out to the middle of it and just stood there, and then I ripped my shirt off, took a drone, fucking taking off. It was out of this world.
Yeah. You can have that. Is that one of those little vine bridges with the wood slats?
No. It's the Andrew, can you show a video? Here, I can show you a picture of it, but it is here, I'll show you a picture.
What's the name of it
again? I got it. I'll just pull it up on this. So this is, can you see how Here, ready? This is it, Bill. Do you see that little rock bridge?
Yeah.
And then take a look at this. This is me, and then this is the drone taking off.
Dude, that's like some Wile E. Coyote shit. Like, that's just going to fall off. You're nuts.
It was scary, man. When your asshole twitches when you get out there, your hands start sweating immediately. Look at that. Isn't that fucking insane?
Yeah, I don't like watching those videos where those idiots are like climbing up buildings. Like, I can't watch that.
Dude, we did this thing one time at the Corona Arch in I think it's out in Moab. And what you do is it's that same form, an arch, like it's just an arch of rock with a big hole in the center. And what they did is they took rope and they tied rope to this side of the arch and then draped it under. And then we stood on the arch, so it's draped under, and then harnessed us in. And we jumped, and you swing through the arch, right? Like this. We did this for Trip Flip about a few years ago. And I get up to the top. By the way, you have to legit rock climb to get yourself up there. It's scary as shit. You're up there. All the real rock climbers are walking around, not roped in, just walking around very comfortable. My hands are sweating telling you about this. And we get harnessed in. I go first. I'm wearing khakis, like they're called Cool, Kuhl pants, but they're khaki. And I have ass sweat all going through there because I'm terrified. I say to the guy right before I jump, I go, maybe I should get like a helmet. And he says,
wait, when you get scared, your ass sweats?
Oh, really bad, Bill. Really bad. Really bad. So it looks like I've shit my pants. It's soaking fucking wet. So I say to the guy, hey, man, maybe I should get a helmet. And he goes, nah. I said, what do you mean? He goes, you don't want one. I said, what do you mean? He goes, let me tell you something, buddy. If something happens, you just want to go. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you do not want to be half conscious having not made this fall, laying down there waiting for a helicopter to come get you. He goes, just go. I go, so no helmet? He goes, no helmet. You either live or die, buddy. And so I just I grabbed a helmet and I put it on anyway. I didn't give a fuck.
All about the adrenaline.
Yeah. And I did the jump. I've done so much shit like that walking out to that thing, I was like, I can do this. There was a kid out there doing backflips.
Yeah, what is the deal with the backflip now? Everybody tries to do it, but I follow a couple accounts on Instagram, and you can't believe what you can do and not break your neck. Watching these kids jump up in the air and their whole body force comes down right on their fucking head. It's just like, they're nuts.
It's amazing how many times.
There's nothing too. The backflip. Yeah, I feel like how many millions of people can you? I've watched the Olympics. Like, a backflip is part of 40 other things that they're gonna do with the twist and then land. Why do I give a shit that you're doing a backflip on a beach? It's not amazing, and you're not a gymnast, so there's a chance you're gonna break your fucking neck. To do what? Hopefully, get me to send a mind blown emoji.
It is a weird thing.
Clean shaven. I kind of look like a fucking emoji.
It is weird when you see a football player score a touchdown and then do a backflip as if him running through 11 dudes that were trying to kill him wasn't impressive enough. The backflip really definitely sold it. You're like, oh shit, you can backflip also?
Or the black flip if it's a black guy doing it. You don't see too many white guys doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not into the. I thought I was that adrenaline junkie guy when I was a kid. I went skydiving one time. I did a static line jump, and
really,
it was a one day. It was a one-day class, couple of hours, and then they just sent you up there. Sit in the door, get out, go. Arc 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Look, if nothing, look, reach, pull. And when I went, I didn't arch, and I just started falling, and I was doing front flips as my chute was coming out, and I felt it go by my leg, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dead. I'm gonna be like a fucking fruit roll-up. And then it was just fine. I remember there was this fat chick and then they talk you down. And there was this fat chick in my class, and you had to be able to pull the toggle all the way down to your knee. And her hips were too big, and she was just kind of doing this. And she ended up across the street, landed in a pile of mulch, and dislocated her knee. So I was like, yeah, I was 19. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be the guy who dies. And then it was just a moment of like, wow, I guess you can die. And then I also felt when the chute was open, it was super boring because
Yeah.
when you're above the tree line, you don't feel like you're falling. You just feel like you're there, and it's like
Yeah.
fucking kind of jocking you a little bit, the whole thing. And it's just like,
I could never go skydiving ever again, and I would be the happiest man in my life.
yeah, I'm not into that.
I've done all of that shit. I don't need it in my life. I remember one time I was in a park in Pamplona with my buddy, and I said, well, I guess we had gone running with the bulls, or not really running with the bulls, but been there. And no, we weren't like in the mix. We were like in the street and then jumped over the fence real quick. Bull, never saw a bull in our life. But I was like, wow, that's great. And then I was like, well, I guess next thing you do is go skydiving. And he goes, why? And I was like, I don't know. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? And he goes, he goes, do you want to go skydiving? And I was like, no, not at all. He was like, then what are you doing it for? And I think that's why a lot of people go skydiving is they go, well, it's a bucket list thing. But if it's not on your fucking bucket, definitely don't fucking do it.
I think a lot of that with guys comes down to I'm not good at talking to women. So I need to do a bunch of crazy stuff. And I hope that they hear the story about me and they think that I'm cool. I mean, that's why I was doing dumb shit like that. It's just because I wasn't a cool guy. So I was, what if I do some cool shit? Does that make me cool? It's like, no.
Yeah.
You're still not cool. So, yeah.
So funny. Motorcycles never had that cachet in my high school. If you drove a motorcycle, it just meant your parents couldn't afford to buy you a car. Like no one got motorcycles growing up.
Oh yeah. If you got on the East Coast, if you had a motorcycle back in the day, you were a badass. I don't know if you got a tattoo, you were a lunatic. But I mean, all of that stuff has changed. No, dude. Like when I grew up, I saw by the time I was like 21, I maybe saw 6 people with a sleeve in my life.
Oh yeah, I remember Ryan.
Bikers. I knew a guy who knew a dude named Deadeye Pete. He was a tattoo artist / biker. Drove a shovel nose Harley. I mean, this guy had the big white beard. This guy was the real deal, and he was just covered in tattoos. And I remember looking at that guy thinking like, wow, man, like that guy is like left the program. Like he is doing his own fucking thing.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's just like somebody making like artisan ice cream has like double sleeves and like a fucking face tattoo. Like pop stars have like face tattoos now. Speaking of which, are you keeping up on that kid there, that 6'9" kid?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that kid is crazy.
Oh, hardcore. Hardcore.
Fucking told on half the free world, and now he's trying to show that he's not afraid. It's like, no, dude, be afraid. Get the tattoos taken off. I'd get a haircut. I maybe shave those big front teeth down or some shit. I do something to look a little different. Like he is like antagonizing somebody. He's taking trolling to a whole other. I watch those videos. I get fucking nervous. I'm like, dude, get inside.
Get inside.
And then it's just like, if you're gonna do some shit like that, don't fucking sit next to me. Fucking inaccurate sons of bitches showing up and catching me instead of you.
Yeah. He's an interesting kid, man. The first time I ever heard about him, I was pulling up to LAX. I was pulling into Delta, and as I'm pulling up, there is a huge fist fight in the street. And what had happened is some gangbangers from LA felt like Tekashi 6ix9ine hadn't maybe respected them enough, and they showed up at the airport to find him, to beat him up. And he got into a fist fight at the airport. And then I said to the guy, I was getting checked in. So I'm sitting.
They can get you at the airport.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. You got him. Oh. Dude, if I ratted out everybody I fucking knew, I'm trying to think of the state I would move to.
Oh, all his cars are flashy as shit. They're all purple. Would you like his music?
Oh, come on, man. I'm too old for that. That's all young people music. I all of that stuff about, going into the VIP rooms and all this.
That's not what he sings about.
I want somebody to rap about 8 hours sleep. I got too much dad shit I'm doing.
Sleep apnea, getting throw up on your shirt.
Yeah, not putting an elliptical in your garage because it's the one part of the house that's yours.
We should do a rap album, Bill. Just the things that
we should not.
The things that for guys our age, like I can't find my sunglasses.
I think Rodney Dangerfield already did Rap and Rodney. Remember that?
No, I do remember that, but I don't remember the rap.